in that interval. Starting 7th is the number 5 of the rookie Avery Towns out of Allen, Texas, in the Texas region in a Star Formula Mazda. Starting 8th is another rookie, the 09 of Sterling Hamilton from Seneca, South Carolina, in the Central Carolinas region, the Hamilton Family Racing Star Formula Mazda. Starting 9th be Sterling Hamilton in that, Avery Towns. Sterling Hamilton, I was right in the first time, in that number 09 car. He had one of his qualifying performances withdrawn because of a tech infraction, so that car may be a bit of an unknown quantity, may not be in the grid position that he deserves, so we'll see if he might make some move. But these drivers are well formed up as Vaughn Glass and Austin Hill, the 14-year-old on the outside, Glass on the inside, as they slowly bring this 15-car field around, as we keep an eye on the starter stand as they stay in line. There's the green, and everybody pops out, making it 4 wide, and Glass did not get a good start as Austin Hill gets the jump. And then coming up from the back, Takeoka having a great start as he goes right down the inside. But here comes Hill late on the brakes, and it looks like he's going to take it, but sweeping around to the outside and going a little bit too quick is the 90 of Robert Wright. But they fall back in file, but Hill with the advantage. Up.
Of course, all these kids, they always grow up in kart racing, almost right out there with the dirt for both of them. A lot of them, though, they come through kart racing where they don't have any downforce. They're very used to throwing the car sideways a little bit. And that goes back to go-karts and being unbiased by these spec F2000s, a lot of radio. You have to drive a little different as we get back in the field here with one of our Star Mazdas out there.
That's Sterling Hamilton out in front of the 89 of Dimitrios Zemetzis.
I got to talk to Sterling just a little bit ago before the race. He was really hoping to see a rain start in this race. There's been a bit of clouds in the area. We've had rain on and off this weekend. He was really hoping that the start of this race would have been on wets. Look at the flames sticking out the back of those rotary Star Mazdas. But he was really hoping for a wet start. Didn't get it, but definitely having a pretty good race there.
Avery Towns and John Murray.
They've got a variety of things under their belt, so they're able to adapt to changing conditions as you would adapt to changing cars.
Sterling Hamilton in front of this group right now, back in 6th position, as he's picked up a couple spots. I think he got around Robert Wright. We'll see if Wright Wright's further up the road. I'm sorry, this is a battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th with Hamilton at the front.
Yeah.
There he is in that Star Mazda.
Go runs a little wide, though, coming off at 13. That's going to kill that momentum down the long straightaway. It's going to hand a spot over to
Dimitrios Zemetzis, I believe, took it over.
I think that's going to be Avery Towns, actually. He's in another one of the Formula Mazdas.
Oh, you're right.
Just kind of watching this as the Formula Mazda sort of sub-race within the race. We're talking about the different chassis involved. Dimitrios was the other car that was in front of him a moment ago.
Exactly. There he is down at the bottom of the frame.
Look at all the flames coming out back. Every time they blip those downshifts, you see a nice bit of flames out of the back of these.
Avery Towns and Sterling Hamilton going after it in those 2 Star Formula Mazdas.
Right behind him in that yellow. Very, very similar chassis.
Yeah, 3 Star Mazdas in a bunch there for 7th, 8th, and 9th.
So Bradley Yake, the second most experienced this entire field. He has 4 prior runoff starts. In fact, he even finished up on the podium in Formula Mazda, very likely the same car or one just like it back in Mid-Ohio in 2016. So they used some of that experience over the drivers out in front of them that are maybe a little bit less in the hands there of Avery Towns and Sterling Hamilton.
Behind the outside of Moreau at turn 2 as we come a little further up in the pack as this battle between Avery Towns and Sterling Hamilton continues for 7th and 8th position.
Sterling had the spot just a lap or so ago, but he had run wide coming out on a 13, had to give that up. He's going to try and get back up there, but again, right behind them is the experienced Bradley Yake, a former podium finisher in Formula Mazdas. He's going to let these guys battle and hopefully sees an opportunity as down the inside takes a peek there for Sterling.
Exactly, tries to make that move, but not quite able to do it. And we go back just a little bit further to Caraher in the 06 out in front of now the 3 car of Ryan McLaughlin.
Thing for Trevor Russell here in a minute. Right back to our 3-way battle of these Formula Mazdas. The battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Yake able to open up just a little bit of room now with Towns and Hamilton behind him. And you mentioned about, it seems a lot of these Formula Mazda drivers come out of Texas. Well, Moses Smith, who actually is operating Formula Mazdas now and managing that program, he's out of Texas, so it certainly helps that drivers who are in the areas near where his tracks or where his shop runs can get into one of these rides and have an opportunity to run one for themselves.
Sterling Hamilton got a little sideways in the middle of the S's, and that cost him some time, but he's able to close up once again under braking as Avery Towns getting a little sideways coming off of
turn 12.
sideways.
That's a couple consecutive corners there for him.
Yeah, exactly right.
I wonder if he's just pushing too hard, or if something else is going on the way he's sliding around.
I wouldn't think they'd run out of tires. These cars are pretty lightweight. I would think they'd be able to keep the tires under them for a 19-lap race. And here comes Hamilton. Towns has to go defensive down to the inside. Hamilton trying to sweep around the outside. A little bit of a braking duel. Hamilton a little later on the brakes, but not quite able to close the deal.
You saw Towns under braking. You saw a lot of flames coming out. I think he's really trying to use engine braking to his advantage. You see him blipping the downshifts and trying to let the engine bring it down and try to, maybe that's the way his brake bias is set up, so he can use a little bit of engine braking in addition to instead of just using all the brakes on the corners.
Might be the MGU there as well. That's getting a little extra braking. But moving into turn number 6A and onto the Holman Straight. Meanwhile, that's allowed Brad Yake to really open up his advantage, as he's a couple seconds out in front of these two as they continue to squabble. Yake was behind them not too long ago.
Yeah, Yake was able to kind of pick each one of these guys off. Yake started this race in 10th spot.
Sunoco, the official fuel of the SCCA, sponsors the hard charger horizontal upper element in that rear wing.
Tough place for Vaughn to catch the traffic. Nowhere to go. It's kind of a single line through 12 and 13, but he's now on the outside. That just gave some momentum, I think, over to Trevor Russell. Vaughn not clean, trying to get around these lap cars. That, of course, is Sterling Hamilton, and then right up in front of him is going to be Avery Towns. And he's used a little bit of draft off in the back of that Formula Mazda to try and pull a little bit further from Trevor Russell. Russell's doing the same thing behind him, using both of the Mazdas, but Trevor's going to catch those in turn 1.
Yeah, they go side by side, making it even tougher as Glass locks up the right front as he comes into the braking zone. Trevor Russell sweeps around the outside of the two-star Mazdas. Nicely done for Trevor.
I wonder if Glass right there, that's about the highest speed he's gotten in quite a while down that front straightaway. 138.8 miles an hour there. Very quick for him. And I'm wondering if he just didn't quite anticipate the braking zone where it needed to be.
Yep.
Locked it up.
Yeah, he just said the fastest track speed of the race so far. So we'll keep an eye on that, as I think it may have caught him just a little bit unawares, as he's closing up on the back of Brad Yake, the 7th place runner. And Russell definitely closer now, because it's under a second last time across the stripe. Glass down to the inside at turn number 7 of Brad Yake.
This is where the maturity of these young drivers really comes into play, is how well do you manage.
Exactly right. Now, I don't know that we've done that at all this year.
I don't think so. Not this year.
Hey, and this battle is going to go right down to the wire. That's Brad Yake and Sterling Hamilton, and Hamilton's going to eke it out at the line. Hamilton will come home in 7th spot, drafting by Brad Yake at the stripe.
Like Al Jr.